Hi, Andrew here. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the community of Christians, Catholics, who were inspired by a Jew called Jesus and his followers, who were also practicing Jews, the early Christians. In 1977, when the real-life model for Aviva of the novel entered my life, she was also welcomed into the community of which I was part. The Catholic Student Society at the University of Cape Town was a fairly large community, and every Sunday we had packed masses full of students that included those who also lived at the Catholic Students' Chaplaincy, of which I was one. We were a small group, about 16 of us, I think, if I remember correctly, or perhaps slightly less. And there was also a larger core group which included the committee, the Catholic Student Society, or CatSoc committee, of which I was a member, and other activists. And we found our inspiration in the life of Jesus before Christianity and that of his early disciples, both the men who comprised the apostles and the women folk. And the sense of community that they had, the love and care which they showed for each other, are best expressed in the mantra, according to St. Basil, that is, of from each according to their means, to each according to their needs. The approach adopted by the early Christians was very much a holistic one, in terms of its attempt to liberate humans from the oppression of everything which made them less human, as it were. Jesus himself was tortured and put to death on the cross for being a threat to the political establishment of the Jews. It was the Romans who put him to death because the Jews did not have a law to do so themselves. But they viewed Jesus as such a threat that he was killed for aspiring to be King of the Jews. And this was also evidenced in the crowning of Jesus' head with a crown of thorns. The approach adopted by him and his disciples, though, extended far further. It also encompassed liberation of the mind, liberation of the spirit. And this is what inspired us. In 1976, so a year before, Aviva and Alexander meet, or rather their real-life role models. Albert Nolan, the national chaplain of the Catholic Students of South Africa, published a book which had a major impact on all of us. It was called Jesus Before Christianity. There was nothing of the trappings that we see in modern Catholicism or Christianity around the world. This was a message of the man, Jesus. And I remember very clearly how it gelled with the approach that I had really appreciated in the musical Jesus Christ Superstar, especially the Gethsemane scene, just before he was detained and taken away to be tortured and eventually killed. that suffering of the man, the agonizing, I found so well depicted, and the voice of Andrew-Glyn of Deep Purple just captured the emotions so beautifully. It was into this loving, caring community that the real-life role model of Aviva was accepted as not a Jew, but as one of us. And this community played a very important role in her development and mine in what followed in the course of that very eventful year. But more of that some other time. Bye for now.